Hello Gemini friends, welcome to your February reading. My name is Michelle and this is Moon Shadow Tarot. So as I was pre-shuffling the decks, which I always do before the reading, there was a very unusual synchronicity which happened, which was I was shuffling my Psychic Tarot of the Psychic Tarot deck by John Holland. And this card from the Archangel Michael deck was actually in the middle of my Psychic Tarot deck, which is really unusual. Sometimes I do combine decks and use them together, but I never combine tarot decks with oracle card decks, and yet nonetheless this Innocence card was right in the middle of this deck. So I don't know how that happened. And when I looked at the Innocence card, I got a message for you, Geminis, that this month is going to be about a return to innocence for you. So I'm keeping the Innocence card out here just off to the side, and we'll just pull cards as per normal and just see whether that message is confirmed in the other cards that come out, or what else they want you guys to know for February. So let's dive right in. So this is going to be just a general energy read for Geminis for the month of February 2019, just to see where you guys are at, what you'll be working on, what energies will be around you. So we'll just dive right in and see what wants to come out. Okie dokie. It's a public holiday here in New Zealand, so I'm catching up on a lot of the monthly readings, which I haven't got through yet, so it's quite nice to have that day off to be able to do that. And the weather here is absolutely gorgeous. It is so hot outside. Just for you northern hemisphere friends, we are currently still in the last month of summer, so we've got pretty much nearly a full month of summer left, and February tends to actually be in New Zealand our best month for summer. So it's very hot and it's very nice weather and it's just lovely. So Gemini, month of February 2019. Oh gosh, there's so much energy in this deck. So much energy. Right, let's try that again. Spirit, what do you want Gemini to know for the month of February? What energies are around them? Okie dokie. Right. First thing I want to do straight away is get a few clarification cards out here. So these ones here are the Bluebird Lenormand. Okie-dokie, interesting. Oh. Too many in that clump. There we go. Right, okie dokie. So there's some very clear, very, very clear messages that are coming up. So, the first card that we got that came out is the Three of Cups card. Now the Three of Cups card can have a lot of meanings. It can often be a celebratory card. It can be a card of even overindulging at times, like having too much of a party kind of good time, too much socializing. And in love situations, it can represent having kind of like a three-party triangle situation. So a situation, and this is the meaning that I'm getting in this reading, is that for a lot of you Geminis, you've had sort of two people that you're trying to decide between. You might already be in a relationship with one of them, but there's sort of someone over here at a distance that you're also interested in. And so there's been this situation that's been going on, I don't know for how long. We're not really getting any timing cards or timing indications from the cards, but there's definitely this situation which has been on your mind. I mean, with this being the first position in the spread, it's like you're entering the month and this is going on currently. So you're trying to make a decision about it, or maybe it's just been there and you've been aware of it in the past, and perhaps you haven't been actively trying to make any decisions around it. Nonetheless, it's very much in your energy field going into this month. Now, here's where it starts to get interesting. We've got the disruption card, which is the Tower card in the traditional tarot. And then we've got the Hope card reversed, which is the Star in the traditional tarot. And then we've got the Destiny card, which in the traditional tarot is the Wheel of Fortune. Now, the thing to be aware of with these three cards is they're all major arcanas. Now, what that means, if you're not familiar with the tarot, is it means these are very fated, huge life scenarios. Like, unlike a card like this, which is from the minor tarot, which indicates is like this can be a transitory energy. It can be something that can pass kind of quickly. Whereas with these cards, they're very much more attached to some of the big lessons that you are here to learn in your lifetime. So there's an element of fate, there's an element of divine timing, there's an element of just, these are big, quite intense energies, and we've got three of them. And there's not that many major arcana cards in a tarot deck. Like, the majority are minor arcana. So to have 3 out of your 4 cards coming out as major arcanas, like, February is going to be a very big, very intense month for you. Now, what I'm seeing from the combination of these cards together is that your physical world is most likely going to be disrupted in some kind of major ways this month. Things are going to come crumbling down around you, potentially. It does not mean this is a bad thing, but you're likely to notice some disruptions in the physical world. There's likely to be some unexpected things that happen, that take place, that force you to re-examine your priorities, in a sense. And the reason this Tower card, this disruptive energy is coming in, is because you've got the Star card in reverse. Now, the Star card is about healing. And with it being in the reverse, there's been an energy of the universe has been wanting you to heal something for quite some time, and you've been kind of perhaps resisting it or fearful of it, and you haven't kind of surrendered to this energy. So now it's kind of like the universe is taking it out of your hands in a way, and it's coming in and kind of mixing up things in your physical world so that you don't really have the option of not doing the healing work that you need to be doing. And again, with the Wheel of Fortune card, this is really saying, like, we're taking over the wheel right now. That's what the universe is kind of saying to you, is we are pushing you out into the passenger seat, essentially, and we're driving this for the month of February. Like, we're in control. But it is for your highest good. Like, here's the thing. We've got the key here. So it's kind of like these disruptive, what may on the surface this month seem to be like chaos, things falling down around you that perhaps you don't want to fall down around you. It's actually for your highest good. I mean, this card even says, inspiration unlocks the door, solutions are the key to success and more. Miracles and insights are easy to trace once the final piece tumbles into place. So there is a sense of things kind of tumbling about, and that's not a pleasant energy when we experience it. It can feel very tumultuous, very unsettled, very uncomfortable. But there's an element of like these things in your life, puzzle pieces that maybe don't go together. So some pieces may have to be taken out. Other pieces may just need to be rearranged a bit. And the universe is coming in to give you assistance with this. Now, for most, well, what I'm seeing, this could be about a number of things, but for what I'm seeing, the majority of this, it seems like it's about a love situation. Because firstly, we've got this third-party romance kind of energy here, but then we've also got gentleman, lady, and the heart. So, there's definitely an energy of making a choice in a love situation, and what I'm kind of getting is that a lot of you Geminis have had a lot of fear around love. You've perhaps had a lot of life experiences where things have been done to you or around you in the name of love, but they're not love at all. They're actually painful situations, manipulative situations, and so it's given you a very distorted view of love. It's given you a view that like love isn't real, love can't be trusted, love is dishonest, love is deceitful, I'm going to get hurt if I let someone get near me. Yeah, and so if you see with this Tower card, and see how this guy, it's like, he's like cut up into pieces in a way, and the pieces are all sticking out at funny angles. I kind of get the feeling that that's actually how some of you Geminis have been living your life. Like everything's, in order to kind of protect yourself and keep yourself safe after some of these experiences that you've had in the past, where maybe people have deceived you or whatever, and hurt your heart, you've been so determined, like, okay, that's not going to happen to me again. So what you've done is you've kind of like cut up the different pieces of you and like compartmentalized them. And it's almost like some of the pieces aren't even actually maybe even you. And it's a way that you've been able to protect yourself. It's a coping mechanism. It's a defense mechanism. It's a way that you've kind of lived for a really long time of like, well, if I keep all these pieces of me very separate, and maybe some of these pieces aren't actually me, but I pretend that they are, then nobody can get to know the real me, and because of this, like, nobody can really hurt me, because even if they figure out one of these puzzle pieces, they can only kind of destroy one of these pieces for me. They can only... Yeah, I'm not articulating this very well, but I think if this message resonates with you, you'll know exactly what I mean. Like, you will feel it in your heart of like, yes, that's me. So, yeah. So, I really do feel like this Return to Innocence card is right on point. It's like the universe this month is helping you to dismantle your defense mechanisms, and this is going to feel very, very, very scary. I can tell you that now. It's going to open up all your fears and all your vulnerabilities, I suspect, this month, about being hurt, about not feeling safe. It's potentially going to bring up memories of situations in the past with different people that have hurt you, but know that this is meant to happen. The universe is doing this to bring solutions to you, to inspire you to move forward, to unlock your heart, so that actually you can experience joy and happiness and love and peace in loving relationships, peace in interpersonal relationships with people. And like, I think you're going to be really surprised, because the energy I'm getting is that you don't think this is possible. Like, you don't think this kind of love can even exist at all in the world, let alone happen for you, is kind of the energy that I'm picking up on. And with this Wheel of Fortune card, like I say, you're being forced into the passenger seat. The universe is going to take over this month and kind of drive things forward, and you're going to end up where you're meant to end up. And I just feel like you're going to have clarity around who out of these two potential love interests you've had on the go or in your field or environment is right for you. And if maybe none of them are right for you, then like you're going to be assisted to clear perhaps both of those out, and someone new might come in. I don't know. But there's definitely an element of like, the universe is helping you heal your own heart this month, which is a prerequisite to having a healthy, loving relationship with anyone else. So they're really assisting you to heal your own wounds, and this is necessary before you can have the kind of relationship you want with one of these parties or with someone new. So it's all for your highest growth and your highest benefit. And it will, as you know, the pieces get moved around and things get shaken up, and things that aren't meant to be there get kind of cut out, you will end up feeling a lot lighter, which will bring in this energy of innocence. You'll be able to be more playful. You'll be able to be more lighthearted because you're not actually dragging around these energies from the past. And I get the feeling that your defense mechanisms have actually been very successful in the past, almost to the point that you've convinced yourself that you're not carrying this baggage around, because you're like, but all my compartments are all nicely segregated, and you've used that as a way to block yourself from feeling things, but in doing so you haven't actually healed the energy, but you think maybe you have, because you've been able to push things down and suppress things so you haven't felt them. And this month, I suspect a whole lot of stuff is going to bubble up, and you are going to have to feel it, and that's not going to be comfortable. It's not going to feel good. But when you do that, you really will actually heal it this time. It's not going to be like you've just forced it into a deep, dark closet. It will come up, and it will be healed, and it will be released, and then you will actually be lighter, and you'll be able to be yourself and actually see who you are in a completely different light. Like, it's going to be amazing. I'm so excited for you guys, actually. Right. So I've got the Archangel Michael deck here, and we're going to see what sort of angelic and spiritual supports you're going to get as you're going to go through these changes this month. Okay. Okay. Let's see if we can get one more from this deck. Whoa, yeah. This is so exciting. I'm honestly so delighted for you guys. So here's what I'm getting. I'm getting the feeling that the Geminis that this message is resonating for, and if it does not resonate, it is not for you. With everything that I've said, you will either feel very clearly like, yes, this is for me, or no, it's not. If it's a no, don't try and make it fit. As readers, we pick up on a collective energy. There's no one reading, I believe, in the entire world that can ever capture the experience of every single Gemini on the planet at a given time. So we pick into a collective energy, and the message will resonate for those people, and you will know that it's you. Okay, so moving on. So for the people that this is resonating for, I get the feeling that you guys are people that are very rational, very logical, very quite clever, you know, and you make decisions from your mental space. And many of you may not be people that consider yourselves as being spiritual. You may not be people that have ever liked that kind of pathway, that have desired that kind of pathway previously, or you may have even been people that grew up in a very spiritual or religious environment, and for whatever reason, maybe there was hurt, maybe there was abuse that happened in that kind of situation for you, or maybe it just didn't make sense with your very logical scientific mind growing up, or maybe there was a lot of control around it, like you will go to church, you will go to Sunday school, you don't have a choice in this matter kind of thing. And so as an adult, you've pushed that all to one side, and it hasn't been a part of your adult experience. So you make decisions from a very mental place, and you're not people that would actively consider yourself as being spiritual or religious. And maybe you've even been quite actively against that. What I'm getting with what's going on is that this is changing for you, whether willingly or unwillingly. I mean, you always have an element of choice, but I am getting the sense that the universe is really pushing you towards actually not getting rid of your logical, rational mind. There is always a place for that. That always needs to be at the table, and that's actually how you can protect yourself from spiritually abusive situations, is by not checking your brain out at the door. You are allowed to belong to a faith or religious group or network of people or belief system and still actively engage your brain and question things, and I highly, highly encourage that. But what I'm getting is that these two parts of you are actually being brought together. That actually, it's not like your mental faculties are allowed and your spirituality cannot exist. It's like now they're both being brought in and they're being balanced out. So this month, you're going to be called by the universe to really believe and trust in this process, and know that all these changes that are going on, which will be very unsettling, they're going to give you strength, they're going to give you courage, they're going to give you confidence. Your hope and faith and trust in this process probably will go up and down like a roller coaster this month, is what I'm getting. But at the end of it, I think you will really see that this has been for your highest good and highest benefit. And the universe is really asking you, like, pray. Like, even if this is not something you have done previously, or something you even particularly believe in, give it a chance. Like, test it. Test the universe. That's kind of the sense I'm getting. The universe is asking you, test me. Pray for help with this situation, because it is going to be unsettling. It really is. Ask for signs. Ask for synchronicities. Ask for, am I on the right path? Ask, help. I don't know how to deal with this. I want to shut down. I want to shut down all these emotions that are bottling up. I don't know how to deal with them. Maybe you want to deal with them in a really unhealthy way, like alcohol, drugs, some kind of addiction that you know is not going to take you to a good place, but maybe in the past that's how you would have dealt with it. And now you don't know how to deal with this in a different way. Ask for help. And be bold, like, take risks this month. Everything is for your highest good. Like, there is so much spiritual support here in this message. It's unbelievable. And these changes they're going to set up the future direction of your life in such an unbelievably amazing way. Like, you won't even be able to see it or appreciate it perhaps this month, but in the future you're going to look back and be like, this is one of the best things that happened for me. That message is so strong. So if you can experiment with spiritual things this month, read a bit more, find out a bit more. I'm not asking you to commit to something that doesn't feel right for you. But if you can, whatever you can do to kind of activate a little bit of faith, a little bit of hope, it will really help you this month. That's what I'm getting. Now, interestingly, before I started this reading, I had set my Power of Love activation deck on the table, which I haven't used for the other for the other monthly readings that I've done so far this month for other star signs. It's a new deck that I've just got. I thoroughly love it, and it's really appropriate that I put it on the table because your reading does seem to be very highly connected to love, to healing your heart. So let's get some messages from this deck around what you can do, what Spirit wants you to know in regards to love, romance, healing your heart, healing wounds from past love situations. Okay. So we've got 3 messages here. We've got acceptance. You are ready to release control of situations or people and lovingly embrace the rhythm of life. And that goes perfectly with everything I've said. In the past, I get the feeling like in friendships, love situations, you've really tried to control not only yourself through that compartmentalizing sort of process that I've talked about, but also I get the feeling you've tried to subtly sort of manipulate the situations, like manipulate people or the whole dynamic of your relationship with somebody, because you thought that if you did that, you could keep yourself safe. And now you're realizing, I think, or you're going to, if you have not already realized this, by the end of this month, I think you'll have a realization of, I thought in doing so, I was keeping myself safe. I thought that that was the best way of doing this. But I think you're going to have this realization of like, actually, that's kind of sabotaged me. It's kind of placed blockages between me and people that I really care about. It's kind of almost like stopped me from getting some of the things that I wanted to get. It stopped me from reaching some of my goals. It's created mistrust. And I didn't realize that. I thought this was the best way of doing it. But now I get this sense of like, okay, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna let go of control a little bit, and I'm just gonna see what happens. I'm gonna see where things take me. And that's a really beautiful energy. So I feel like you're gonna step into this energy of just accepting things as they are, of trying to go with the flow, of being more open to being moved to the path that you're meant to be on. And I think, yeah, you are having an acknowledgement that in the past maybe I've tried to be controlling, or I have been controlling. And I think you're ready to kind of acknowledge and take ownership of some of those mistakes. I feel like in the past, maybe people have pointed this out to you and you've kind of said, no, that's not true. I don't do that. And I feel like now you're having an epiphany of like, yeah, actually I have. And it's not that you need to beat yourself up about that, but I think you're just having this moment of self-awareness, because you're not, I kind of feel like when you're doing this compartmentalizing stuff, you were able to deceive other people, but more so you were deceiving yourself, and you couldn't see things for what they really were. It was like you thought you were perceiving reality accurately, and in fact you weren't, but you thought you were. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like you're just learning a real lesson this month, and I feel like because firstly you're aware of it and you're accepting it, and you've got a willingness this month to kind of try different things. I think there's a willingness, there's a realization of, this hasn't worked for me. I thought it would. I thought it was working maybe even, but it's not. And so, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but I'm willing to try different things. I'm willing to see where this takes me. I'm willing to, and it's a really beautiful energy. And so I feel like now you're able to forgive yourself, and you're also able to forgive other people, because maybe in the past, you've blamed a lot of other people, perhaps, for how things have turned out in your life. And now that you can see not only other people's actions and how they've impacted on your life, but also how your own actions have impacted on your life, I think you're coming into perhaps more compassion not only for other people but also for yourself, because you're seeing, I think, we're all kind of hurt, we're all kind of broken on some level, and we're all doing the best we can. And I just feel like, yeah, you're going to be able to work through some stuff and let go of past hurts. And yeah, I think you're really lightening your load this month. And I'm not saying you'll complete this all in the month of February, but I do see that you're going to be thinking about things. I feel like you're probably going to be spending a reasonable amount of time by yourself this month, to work through some of this stuff, to think about some of this stuff, to pray, to research, to get clarity, and it's really going to support you. Like I say, it's going to feel probably turbulent, it's going to feel up and down, and it's going to feel rocky, but you are going to feel so light and so like a whole new different person at the end of this. Like, I actually just feel this beautiful light energy within myself as I do this reading. So I know that these changes are assisting you to get into this real light energy, you know. So that's it. If this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up, hit the like button, hit the subscribe bell so that you will automatically get notified with next month's readings for Gemini. And I'm gonna probably look at doing just quick weekly updates as well. That won't be just for Gemini, it will be more of a general collective energy, and I'm gonna work on love readings, career readings, and a whole heap of other stuff. So you don't want to miss that. Hit the subscription bell, and I'll catch you soon. Bye!